You are incredible. You are committed to building a long-lasting, profitable real estate business. And you know it all comes down to these 20 skills. We're here breaking down the last 4 out of these 20. This is part 6 of our 6-part series. Check this out. Hey everybody, I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People, and on this channel, I give you the tools, resources, and tactics that I'm currently using in my 7-figure business so you don't have to go out there, waste a bunch of time and a bunch of money. We are back, baby. We are back for the final installment of the 20 skills that we must master to build an actual long-lasting business, and that's what we're in here for. Let's build a real asset that's gonna pay us passive cash flow for years and years to come. And here we are, baby. Here we are with mindset. This one's going to be so powerful. This one is what really sets the foundation for all the rest. Because if we don't have mindset, if we don't have goal setting and motivation, if we don't have money management and profitability, and if we don't understand personality types, it makes all the rest so much more difficult. So let's hop right in. Mindset. Do you want to have a diamond hard in a snowstorm mindset? Then you have to make the correlation between the skills that you have and the strength of your mindset. Because the fact is, the stronger your skills, the stronger your mindset. You don't see Tiger Woods quaking and shaking and he's so nervous with a bunch of people surrounding him. No, he has hit the driver a bazillion times. That's what I'm talking about developing skills. We have to be very honest on where we're at and where we need to go to hit the goals that we want to hit. And that's what truly builds mindset. It's not just affirmations. It's not just optimism. It's not just positivity. The fact is that is all to be poured into the bucket of skills, of building your skills. The more confident that you are, that you can perform at the highest level, the stronger your mindset's going to be. And it's an absolute fact. Next, who are your personal board of directors? Well, Brent, a board of directors is just for big corporations and big trusts and big hedge funds and all that. No, who are your personal board of directors? Who's going to protect you? Who really knows you? That's going to keep you at your core when you get wildly successful? Who is the person that's already where you want to be? Who are these people that are going to cheerlead you? Who are these personal board of directors that you can put on your team so that when you have tough days, you can go to them, and when you have great days, you can celebrate with them? Find those 4 people for your personal board of directors and watch how much more confident, how stronger your mindset's going to be, especially as you're building your skills. Next, leaders are readers, baby. From today till the end of days, you are going to read 5 pages every single day. Not audible, not just listening to it, read. It's really important that you read every single day. I know it seems very basic, but a minimum of 5 pages every day, it'll completely transform your life. You're going to speak better. You're going to understand things faster. You're going to work faster. You're going to get the experience of people that have done remarkable things, and you can have all of their Cliff's Notes, all of their little cheat codes in 3-4 hours of reading a book. It's absolutely crazy. We should be downloading them all the time. Minimum 5 pages every single day. Next, attitude. Earl Nightingale. You should be listening to everything from Earl Nightingale, reading everything from Earl Nightingale. He's incredible. But he says the number 1 most powerful word is attitude. We have the ability to have a negative attitude or a positive attitude. That's it. So what are we going to be? Are we going to let outside forces bring in drama into our life? Are we going to let those things affect how we're going to go out and produce for the day, how we're going to go out and provide value for the day? Or we're going to have an unbelievable positive attitude, a hungry attitude to go out there and do more and be better every single day? You got this. Treadmill and pool parties, it's over, all right? Listen, if you're in a car by yourself, there's no more listening to music. You listen to unbelievable, great business ideas in your car. It is a mobile university. Take that time, advance your skills so much faster by pouring into yourself every single time you're in the car by yourself. You want to listen to music? You want to jam out to the hottest new album? Whatever you want to do? Great. treadmills and pool parties. Treadmills and pool parties is where you go listen to the next album. When you're in the car by yourself, when you're walking to go somewhere, where you're on the subway, when you're in an Uber, whatever it is, pop in those headphones and listen to Audible or podcasts and pour in. We need to be obsessed. Fear and anxiety killer. You know what kills fear and anxiety? Gratitude. What are you grateful for? Can you stand up? Can you breathe? Do you have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, a nose? Do you have these things? The fact that you're even here, the fact that any of us are here, it's like what, 400 trillion to 1 odds that we're even alive? I mean, it's so incredible. However you want to do it, just make sure that when you're starting to have those fears and some anxieties, tap into gratitude. It is the secret. It is the anti-venom for fear and anxiety is gratitude. Real talk. What is your real talk up here about money? When you hear money, when you talk about money, when you hear other people talking about money, what is your initial reaction? Because if it's one that's negative, if it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, well, that person could do it, but I can't, or that's greedy and I don't want to do that, or whatever it is, that's going to hold you back. It's going to hold you back from providing value to the world. So what's your real talk about money? Because if your real talk about money is not something positive or not something that you believe that you can achieve, then it's going to hold you back from going out and really going with that unlimited potential and really seeing how far you could push your life. Next, Rhino Charge, baby. We focus. We're a 4,000-pound snorting beast that has one goal, and we charge at it at one time. Focus, focus, focus. Bill Gates' dad sat down with Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, and he had them both write down one word that led to their success, and they both wrote the same word. Focus. Charge after one goal and then go to the others. Once you achieve that goal, then start setting your sights on the other goals. But if you start charging at all these different goals, none of them get accomplished. Charge at one goal at a time, accomplish it, and you will win. Let's move on. Goal setting and motivation. We got double vision. You know that song? It's a good song. But what I'm talking about is not that song. What I'm talking about is getting rich and then getting wealthy. There's a big issue here that a lot of people run into where you start trying to build wealth before you're rich. Get rich and then invest in the assets. If you remember the cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, it's all about being an employee, self-employed, business owner, then investor. The business owner part and the self-employment part are where you get rich. To be the investor, focus on the income producing activities every single day. Build a big, healthy, heavy bank account and then go build your wealth. Because I'm telling you this, so many people start doing so phenomenal in this business. Because I'll tell you this, wholesaling real estate is a cash machine. It's an ATM. You will win every time. It will work if you do. It is undefeated. It is absolutely undefeated. But what happens is people go, oh, I've got all this money. I got to go buy rentals. I got to go do all these things. I got to go lend money. And then all of a sudden they stop the income producing activities in their business. And all of a sudden they're cash poor. And now they're stressed. And now you got to go back into it. And now not only do you have responsibilities that need your attention for your wealth building, but all of a sudden you have to like jump back into certain roles in your business. Don't do this. Get rich, 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 and then go get wealthy. Okay? It is so critical. And I understand, like if you want to have that employee mindset where you work and you put a part of your paycheck away and you put it into investments, I get it. It's the slow way to go. I want you to go fast. I want you to put the pedal to the metal and get as much income in as possible, stack it up, and then go buy incredible assets. And you're going to have the best opportunities because you're finding the most discounted properties in your area. It's bananas. It's a win, 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 win all the way through. I don't know how many wins that is. I think it's 5 or 6. Here we go. We're talking about wins. We're going to stack wins. You got to stack the small wins to get to the big wins. If you're just getting started in this business, getting out of your your house, getting into your car is a win. Driving out into neighborhoods that are older is a win. Seeing properties that need some renovation is a win. Getting the information for those properties is a win. Knocking on their door or picking up the phone and calling those property owners is a win. Don't just think that the only win is getting a check or a wire at the end of this process. Outcomes are distractions. Focus on the process. Stack the small wins. Internal, external, philosophical. This is getting deep now, okay? Internally, why are you doing this? What's the point, right? There is a great exercise at wholesalinginc.com called the 7 levels why. You put a goal at the top and then you ask yourself why to whatever you respond to that question, to why you want that goal 7 times to really get to the core of it. But internally, what is it about you? Why are you different? Why is your brain wired different? Why are you even trying to do this? Most people, 95% of people just want to live their life, do their thing, and just kind of exist, right? They don't want to go bananas. They don't want to start their own businesses. They don't want to take that risk, right? And why do you? Really tap into that and use that exercise at wholesalinginc.com. External. Like what do people think that you're doing around? Like the people that know you the best, what do they think that you're doing? Are you doing it for them? Are you doing it to provide for your family? Are you trying to be that successful ancestor that leaves your family in a better place after you're gone? There's a difference between why you want to do it internally and why you want to do it for everybody else. Really understand that because you have the power to do that. And philosophically, what are you doing for the world? How are you going to make this place better when you leave? What are you doing? What impact do you have? What positivity do you have? I get fired up about this, so I got goosebumps right now just even thinking about it because we have the ability to do this. But we got to be brave. We got to have courage. And we have to take massive, imperfect action every single day. If you like massive, imperfect action, hit a like on this video. And by the way, if you're getting value out of these videos and you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We put a lot of love, a lot of time, a lot of respect for you into this channel to give you the real, no fluff meat and potatoes so that you can go out there and completely change your life financially. Next, do your job, just this play. It's a Nick Saban. Nick Saban is the coach, the head coach for Alabama, and they've won championship after championship after championship, and he has one main philosophy: just do your job this play. When you're on the phone with a prospect, just focus on that call. Don't focus about the one that you did before. Don't focus about the ones that are coming up. Just focus here. Don't worry about what you did yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just do your job today. Because sometimes we live too far in the past, and sometimes we live way too far in the future. What are you going to do today? Just focus on today and you win. We have liftoff, baby. It takes time to build momentum. It takes time. Like a rocket ship, it takes all that time for those engines to warm up and the fuel to get fired up and to go and go and go and go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, right? Liftoff. It takes time and momentum. This is what makes or breaks everybody in this business. Is typically that first 90 days of consistent action. Consistently going out there and doing something that's going to progress your business forward every single day for 90 days. Because you're not going to see the results typically. You're not going to get paid typically. You're not going to close deals typically. Sometimes you can. Sometimes it's day one. Sometimes it's the first conversation you have. But sometimes it takes months. So you got to put in your mind, okay, I'm going to grind this out. I'm going to grind for at least 90 straight days. And I'm telling you, very rarely do we, in this society, focus on something for 90 days without a return. And that's what makes or breaks people in this business. It's staying consistent, getting through that 90 days, and then lift off, baby. $1,000 an hour. Imagine this. Imagine every hour that you did income producing activities, every hour that you were calling up and talking to a property owner, every hour that you were making offers on properties that need some love, that are in some sort of distress, that they want to trade price for speed and convenience. Every hour that you did that, I gave you $1,000 an hour. I started charting this because it was always a game that I played in my head. When I was making calls and I was sitting at home and I was just making the calls, I was like, listen, I need to imagine that somebody's paying me $1,000 an hour to do this. it just really helped out the progress and the consistency of taking action every single day, because when you're an entrepreneur, nobody tells you when to show up. Nobody tells you what to do. Nobody tells you you have to do it. This is all choice. This is all option. This is all just on us wanting to achieve something great. Sometimes it's smart to play little mind games. So imagine that. Imagine for every hour that you were making calls to property owners, I stood behind you and gave you $1,000 an hour. I charted it. I got up to $1,250 an hour. $1,250 an hour is what I was making when I was making calls to property owners. You can too. Let's move on. Money management and profitability. The number one thing that none of us were taught in school, right? This is all about financial intelligence. It starts with our financial thermostat. How high is your financial thermostat? When I say $100,000, what does that mean in your mind? When I say $100,000 a month, what does that mean in your mind? What about $100,000 a week? What does that say in your mind? You get it, you get it, you get it. Listen. Your financial thermostat, how high is it set? You need to be around people that think really, really big, because most people just can't get to that place. People just have some weird labels that they put on themselves when it comes to this point. Everybody that I talk to is excited about making a lot of money. Majority of those people also only take home $3,000 to $5,000 a month because they're reinvesting in their business. That is silliness. That's amateurish. You take the money home. Lift up your financial thermostat, especially if you didn't come from a wealthy family. Put it into assets. You know that. But what I'm saying is financial thermostat, raise it up. You got to think bigger and bigger and bigger and be around people that talk about money on a much different level. And that's going to really help you out. All right? Next, cash machine. This business, I just said it a little bit ago, is a cash machine. It's an ATM machine. Why would you ever kill the golden goose? Number one, do your first deal. Number two, get consistent so that you can replace any other job, any other income that you have coming in outside of this business. And then get to the point where you're making it and you're consistent, you're building up a big healthy bank account where you can start firing yourself from different roles. And then all of a sudden, you've got a business that runs without you. It's a cash machine. But stay focused. You know what ruins your cash machine? When you take all your attention off of building this cash machine and go buy a triplex, go buy an old apartment complex in the middle of nowhere. You go take over somebody's loan and a property that needs significant rehab, and now all of a sudden you're distracted by that because you're busy but you're not productive. Stay focused. Build this machine. Build your cash machine, then go bananas. I want you to own 1,000 doors and flip 1,000 properties and develop and lend money and do whatever you want, but keep your cash machine intact. Next, stop being somebody else's ROI. If you have credit cards, if you have a car payment, if you have student loans, pay them off. Before you buy any assets, get rid of those liabilities. I'm telling you. Now, when you want to get some assets to pay for your liabilities later on, fine. Absolutely. I love a rich lifestyle. I love the best. I love going to the best places. I like staying in the best rooms. I like going in the best cars. I like doing all of these things. But the asset, my cash machine, pays for it all. So stop being somebody's ROI. You're going to feel so much lighter. Because there's something in our mind that's like, okay, I just made $10,000, but I owe $7,000 to somebody else, so really I only have $3,000. Imagine if you make $10,000, you only owe like $1,500 to somebody else, and you get to keep $8,500. Minimum standard. Listen to me, write it down, put it in your mind. $20,000 a month minimum standard. In the Rhino Tribe coaching program, in the Wholesaling Inc coaching program, minimum standard is $20,000 a month. That's what we're pushing for every single day, is to make sure that minimum you take home $20,000 a month. You got to have a minimum standard, because if you don't, your income is going to fluctuate all over the place, and it's going to be a mess. So make it $20,000 minimum standard. Watch what happens. Next. Then render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God. Matthew 22:21. Pay your taxes. Don't think that you can completely avoid paying taxes. You have to buy 8 times as much in real estate a year to not pay taxes, income taxes. to cover all the depreciation that you get from that real estate. So if you make $1 million a year, you have to buy $8 million every single year in real estate. Listen, that might sound exciting, and that might sound like no big deal, but on your balance sheet, it is atrocious. Your debt to income ratio is bananas. Pay your taxes. We all have to. It doesn't matter. That's the rent that we pay to live in this country. People spend so much time trying to avoid paying taxes that if you just pay it and keep moving and keep producing, you're just going to make so much more and you're going to be so much more happy. And when you get real creative with your tax filings, you're going to get audited. And if you're making a good amount of money, it's going to cost you minimum, even if you're right. You've done everything perfect. You found every loophole possible. It's going to cost you $100,000. I'm just telling you, and a lot of time and a lot of attention. When you get that letter from the IRS, it is not good. My advice, pay them before you pay yourself. Take it out and just put it away. Just start having that discipline right away. Next, who owns who? This is crazy. In this building, so I bought this. This is a 4,000 square foot office building here, and I had just bought it. I had just bought it about a year ago, and outside was a young homeless guy. I mean, he had obviously been a drug enthusiast of some sort. I'm assuming based on his appearance and the way that he was talking and his mannerisms. And I said, you know, I brought him some water. It's Phoenix. It's hot out here. I brought him a couple of things of water, and I said, listen, is there somebody I can call, help you get somewhere so that you're not just laying out in the sun? And he was like, why can't I lay here? And I said, well, you know, I own the building. This is my place of business, and you're right where people drive to come into my building. I just don't want them seeing you laying there in front of my building. And he goes, oh, it's your building? Yeah. And I said, yeah. He goes, who owns who? I go, what? He goes, who owns who? You own the building, right? Yeah. Do you own it, or does it own you? He was like a street philosopher. You know what I mean? But it's the truth. I mean, there was a seed of truth there. We want to go out and buy those fancy cars. We want to go out and buy a giant house. You have to be thinking about all of these things that you have. An oil change for a Lamborghini is like $700. For new tires, it's like $1,000 a tire. All of these things matter because it takes you away from going out and producing income. There's a time and a place for that. When you're bored and you're balling out and you've built your cash machines and you're just getting that money, that's the time to go and get as crazy and wacky as you want to be, right? Not while you're getting rich. Stay focused. Who owns who? Really watch it. Really think about that. Next, bigger but smaller. The bigger your company gets, the smaller your margin's going to get. It's an absolute fact. You're going to have to hire more people. You're going to have to spend more in marketing. You're going to have to spend more in operations, and it's just going to start creeping down and down and down. So understand that. Understand where you're at in your business, and understand what do you really want to do. Do you want to have this big, huge company that has a lot of overhead, that has to navigate and lay people off when the market conditions change? Do you want to have something that's a little bit more nimble? I always was of the philosophy, I'd rather be a jet ski than be a cruise ship, because I can go all over the place and I can go fast. So it just depends on what you want to do. But understand that the bigger you get, the smaller your profits are going to be, percentage-wise. I don't mean like total income-wise. You can certainly make a fortune with smaller profits, but just understand that. Wait, there's no parade? When you become a millionaire, guess what? Your family and friends and the people around you don't put you on their shoulders and parade you around because you're a millionaire. Truly, nobody really cares. The people you went to high school with don't care. People you went to college don't care. The people that you worked with don't really care. So just focus on what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. I just thought for forever, because I wasn't the tallest and the fastest and the handsomest and the best at everything, that I had to like overcompensate by being the most successful, right? And it destroyed me in my 20s. Because I was really just focused on, I just want to show everybody how good I am. It was like a weird insecurity that I had. And it was silly, and it was negative, and it didn't do anything. So learn from me and just understand there's no parade when you become a millionaire. It's just you and your family doing its thing. Do it because you want to see how far your potential can go. Boom! Let's move on to the very last part. Thank you so much for staying with us. This has been an incredible journey. Let's finish this off strong. Understanding personality types. 4 main personality types. And listen, everybody is a combination of all of them, but this is really important because this really helps you understand how to effectively communicate. And when you know how to effectively communicate, you can recruit great people, you can get more clients, you can get more deals, you can sell your deals for more, you can make connections with people that are a few layers above you, levels above you, all of those things. So this is really critical. I know this is probably going to be the least popular of all of these, but it's really important, and I want you to really understand it. Analytical, driver, amiable, expressive. Analytical are more your engineers. They really need to understand what is going on in the decision-making process. They're very numbers, right? Low emotion. They look at everything very logically. Drivers are like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to run through walls and I'm going to do whatever it takes to go get it, right? A lot of us have this in us, right? This is batteries come included. Go, 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 go. But a lot of times, very A-type, people would say, very low emotion. They cause a lot of drama. These people cause the most drama typically, right? Because they're just so go, 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 and they will like leave everybody in their dust and just keep moving forward. But it's really good to understand these personalities because they're very short, and the way to communicate with them is to mirror and match drivers as much as possible. If you talk slow to a driver, they're going to think you're dumb and a waste of time. You go fast with them, get right to the point, you're going to win. Amiable. These people are wonderful. This is like your aunt, right? Or your uncle. And they're just the sweetest person of all time. And they just want to put a hug around the world. They just want to knit a little sweater and put it around the whole world and make sure everybody's cozy and everything is good. They're very high emotion and very low on decision making. Right? Oftentimes they're very flaky. Oftentimes these are the personalities that will ghost us the most because they don't want to disappoint us with not being able to make a decision. And if you push them too hard, they get very scared, they go into the corner, and then they just disappear. So make sure that you understand this. Expressives. This is, I'm pretty expressive, right? People that are bombastic, people that can say a lot of words throughout the day, people that just kind of go in and they're just talking and making friends and just going and being loud, sometimes obnoxious to the level, but very expressive. When you get somebody that's an expressive on the phone, and if you don't check them and kind of put some guardrails on the conversation, they can totally dominate it and the conversation goes nowhere. Live in the moment. Live in the moment. When you're speaking to any personality type, just focus on them. Stop looking around. Stop doing all these other things. Just focus on that conversation. And I'm telling you, if you focus on it, then you can read between the lines of what's going on in that conversation. You can read the tones and the pitch and the pacing of the way that they communicate. And you can understand, are you getting through to them? Are you breaking down their barriers? Or are you creating stronger, more powerful barriers? Next, empathy. Stop being judgy McJudgerson. Just because you're a driver, don't get mad because somebody's an amiable. Just because you're an analytical, don't get mad at somebody because they're expressive. Versatility comes with empathy. Be empathetic. Understand where these people are coming from. Look and try to really listen and see what is going on with this person and how can I help solve their problems. Versatile selling. This is a great book. It's a thin book. It's very dry. There's no stories, but it's an incredible book. It's a green book. You can get it on Amazon. It really helped me out. It's probably one of 7 books where like 90% of the book is highlighted. And the second book, Go Giver. Be a go giver. I read the Go Giver book every week for a year in 2016. And it took my business from $250,000 to just under $750,000, tripled my income just because I implemented what I learned in this book. And this really helped me. I had a problem with kind of driving really hard and being a go-getter and not a go-giver, and really understanding the 5 laws of stratospheric success that are laid out in that book, and they're extremely accessible and they're extremely powerful. So make sure that you check out those books, and that's it. That is the 20 skills, we've got it right here, the 20 skills of building a long-lasting, predictable, profitable real estate business. Take notes. Go back through it over and over and over. We're going to put on wholesalinginc.com, we're going to put a guide so that you can fill this out and really just take notes as you're going along and just put it in a couple different ways. Yes, you watched it, but put some pen to paper, because something magical happens when you're taking notes and you're putting it in your own words and you're really paying attention. Because I'm telling you, you focus on this, you win every time. It works if you do. Go out there, take massive, imperfect action. I love you. Thank you for participating in this. Please put in the comments section anything that you want to learn about, anything that you're unsure about in any of these 20 points. I want to know about it, and I want to participate in you building your skills. I love you. If you need anything, check out wholesalinginc.com. See you next time.